Throughout the West, homosexuality has been subject to moral and legal sanction for centuries. In the 1950s, things began to change. In 1957, the Wolfenden Report recommended the repeal of homosexual laws in the United Kingdom. 3 years later, the American Law Institute recommended that states adopting its model penal code should also repeal laws against sodomy, homosexual sex. Over the ensuing decades, laws and morals slowly became more permissive, and by the turn of the millennium, only 14 states still had sodomy laws. Texas was one of those states. Lawrence, along with his lover Garner, were discovered by police engaged in intercourse. Police had been sent there by Garner's former lover, who claimed there was an armed offender on the premises. The two were charged, pleaded no contest, and then appealed their sentences, which were fines. The appeals ended up before the Supreme Court. The question for the Supreme Court was whether private sexual activity was protected under the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, the Due Process Clause, which guarantees no deprivation of life, liberty, or property without due process. In a 1986 case, Bowers and Hardwick, the court had refused to recognise homosexual sex as falling within the right to liberty or an associated right of privacy. The decision was based, at least in part, upon a perception that there was a continuing community antagonism towards this type of sexual activity. By 2003, this could no longer realistically be sustained. A majority in the Supreme Court went through some linguistic gymnastics and found that Bowers had been addressed to all non-procreative sex. They found that decision had been wrong because non-procreative straight sex was common and not immoral. Having found this, they extended the reasoning to homosexual sex. Chief Justice Kennedy, in the majority judgment, wrote, "Adults may choose to enter upon this relationship in the confines of their homes and in their own private lives and still retain their dignity as free persons. When sexuality finds overt expression in intimate conduct with another person, the conduct can be but one element in a personal bond that is more enduring. The liberty protected by the Constitution allows homosexual persons the right to make this choice." This decision struck down the 14 remaining laws against homosexual sex. The Constitution protects the liberty of Americans to engage in consensual sexual intercourse with other consenting adults who are not close family members.